hard to teach kids that don't have hope. And our kids had hope with Dr. Copeland.
Right now, a community comes together for a Madison principal removed from his position. What the district is saying after last night's meeting on Dr. Copeland.
Also, challenge denied. A Wisconsin sheriff's race is officially over this morning. The reason the losing candidate wanted more than 1,000 votes thrown out.
Temperatures are in the teens this morning, but it's not about where you start, it's about where you end up.
That's right.
We have the forecast coming up for just a bit.
Maybe it's about the journey. Than the
about the journey.
Words of affirmation this morning. I like it. Right here on News 3 Now this morning, we're helping to turn your day around.
That's right. We are a little cooler this morning than we were yesterday, Chris.
Yes, but we'll be warmer into the afternoon than we were yesterday afternoon. So that's the big thing that I've been telling everyone is that temperatures are going to warm up. That being said, 18. Good morning, southern Wisconsin. This honestly is still kind of mild compared to some of the mornings we had over the weekend. But it's 18. Yesterday at this time, it was 33. So we are certainly warming things up out there. 19 for Janesville, 15 in the Dells, and then 8 in Black River Falls. Now, I just said we're certainly warming things up out there, and I'm sure somebody was like, Chris, it's colder than it was yesterday. I know. Hold on, let me get to it. That being said, Doppler track quiet for us at the moment across southern Wisconsin. The Dane County Metro stays dry today as well. Anywhere in Wisconsin that could see some snowflakes, that would be across parts of the Northwoods early on. For us, we keep that sunshine. We're at 38 by lunchtime. What happens between noon and 4 o'clock, that is when temperatures make it up towards about 40 degrees this afternoon, and that comes with sunshine. Some areas could do even better. I won't be surprised if someone makes it up towards 45 or 46 even today, especially across southwest Wisconsin. And that is why I say we're certainly warming up. This is where that came from. We have your Thanksgiving forecast, when and who could see rain. Plus, I'm tracking that next impactful system across the Midwest.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. It's one of the busiest travel weeks of the year, and we're going to give you some reminders to make sure that you have a nice, smooth holiday travel.
Oh, yeah. Shane Hogan helping you out. He's here with what you need to know. Good morning, Shane.
Hey, good morning, Leah. That's right. You're taking a live look here at the Dane County departures. All green. That's the good news this morning. We've been following all morning long. Every flight getting out on time today. So if you're headed out of town for Thanksgiving and you're leaving today, you should be good to go. Tomorrow as well. Dane County Airport's TSA employees are offering a few reminders for anyone taking to the skies this week. They do expect tomorrow to be the busiest travel day of the week, so give yourself plenty of time to get through the checkpoint, and remember, be patient. Though hiring has been a challenge nationwide, the TSA is actively taking extra measures to account for staffing shortages. And when it comes to what Thanksgiving treats you can and can't bring with you, here's a quick look at a list. TSA says turkey and turkeys are good to go. Baked goods, cookies, pies, cakes, anything solid is fine. It's the liquids that are going to give you the problem. Your gravies, your cranberry sauces, the most important, the wine. You can't bring that on the plane with you. So if you are traveling, keep those things in mind. And if you're heading on the road this holiday season, I'm doing that just a few hours today. Make sure you have our First Warn weather app. It'll have all the traffic updates you need for a safe holiday travel this year.
All right, so your recipe, your famous recipe for gravy, your wine, it's all safe in your backseat of your car.
That's right. It's in the car. No worries about that. But if you're heading to the airport, just give that list another look over. You don't want to get to the gate and have to throw everything away. That's a day ruiner for sure.
Yeah, right. I hate to throw out some perfectly good gravy. Thanks, Shane.
You got it.
6:03 now. Sun Prairie teacher is now facing federal charges accused of recording students in a school bathroom. That teacher is back in court today.
Overnight, the school district accepting 34-year-old Matthew Quaglieri's resignation. According to the federal indictment, he's charged with 3 counts of child pornography production. Sun Prairie police say it happened at Prairie View Middle School, where he taught. Initially, the district had suspended him. He has a status conference scheduled for this morning. And to the Madison School District now. School staff there say former Principal Jeffrey Copeland has plans to meet privately with the school board later this month.
At last night's board meeting, though, teachers at Senate Middle School sang the praises of Dr. Copeland. Copeland was fired by the district after he accidentally left a voicemail with a job applicant questioning his qualifications and the district's hiring process. So far, neither the school board nor the district have publicly commented on Copeland's firing, but in the former principal's termination letter, his supervisor called his remarks extremely harmful. And that they went against the district's vision of creating an anti-racist school culture.
I listened to the recordings, and all I heard from what Dr. Copeland said was he was not happy with how this would work for our students. His concern was about communication, not about race, ethnicity, or national origin.
Staff say they aren't denying the way Copeland expressed his concerns was in bad taste, but do believe that other disciplinary action would have been more appropriate. You can find more background on this story and Copeland's voicemail recording at channel3000.com.
Developing this morning, Wisconsin's Department of Justice is taking over an investigation after a person died following a police chase and a crash this weekend in Maple Bluff. Sunday morning, police tried to pull a vehicle over. The driver took off and later crashed into a tree on Woodland Circle. The driver ran off. Police found him a short while later. He eventually died at the hospital. 3 other passengers were in the car at the same time. All stayed on scene and had minor injuries.
The race for La Crosse County Sheriff is finally over this morning. The Republican candidate had challenged the recount, questioning whether certain college students could vote in local elections. That recount confirmed that incumbent Democrat John Siegel won by 175 votes. His opponent, Fritz Leinfelder, challenged the outcome, claiming more than 1,000 UW-La Crosse students cast their vote illegally.
I don't believe that somebody that is a temporary resident of La Crosse that's only connected by the school should have the right to vote here in our local election. Most of those college students are going to move out of the area. They're not permanent residents here.
According to Wisconsin law, anyone who's lived in a ward for 28 consecutive days is allowed to vote in that ward. The La Crosse County clerk denied Leinfelder's challenge, and he conceded.
Looking ahead this morning, Wisconsinites can see some tax cuts thanks to a surplus that's expected to be more than $6 billion by next June. That's according to a new report released by the Department of Administration. It's over $1.5 billion more than the projected numbers. Republicans in the state are pointing to massive tax increase collections for a reason for the surplus. Governor Evers says it shows Wisconsin is in the strongest financial position it's ever been in. The Republican chairs of the Budget Writing Committee now say they want to see tax cuts included in that surplus.
6:06 now coming up, preventing brain injuries. The new invention local researchers want to use to combat concussions.
And 1 million old fashions. We're helping celebrate a huge milestone for this local favorite in the 608.
Black Friday deals all month long during our huge Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible prices, plus get 30% off on top of that store-wide. And don't forget, mattress shopping is easy, fast, and comfortable at Slumberland Furniture.
Precision engineering, rigorous attention to detail. A Bryant Evolution heating system is so well designed, it's as much of a joy to install as it is to use.
Good to go.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
In the Oregon area, contact Tarkenton Brothers Heating and Sheet Metal for quality comfort solutions.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
For every holiday, for everyone. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
My mother gave me this ring when I was going through a really hard time in my life. And when she's going through a hard time, she has it.
We pass on this ring because we know we're always there for each other.
It's our sisterhood.
Bold reflections, inspired by your extraordinary love stories. Jared, love brilliantly.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course. Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com, type in high five, and our website will hook you up.
Looking at mattresses?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable. That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Right now, get 30% off select mattresses, like this Sealy Posturepedic mattress for $5.99. Slumberland, mattress shopping reinvented.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're in the 608 this morning, helping a local restaurant celebrate a really big milestone.
Josh Ryder is live in the Capitol Square this morning with that story. Hey there, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. We're so lucky to live in the 608 where we have so many local restaurants and bars to celebrate. One of those is right behind me. I know this is a staple for so many Madison area families. Of course, we're talking about the Old Fashioned. And today, they are celebrating a huge accomplishment. Of course, it has to do with their Old Fashioned. They are getting ready to serve their 1 millionth Old Fashioned with a big party happening later today. Since its opening in 2005, the Old Fashioned has become a local institution serving the quintessential foods that make Wisconsin famous. We've featured them here in this segment before. Well, now we're back because here are the details you do not want to miss. Because they didn't want to give just one drink out today, the Old Fashioned is making it a whole event tonight from 7 to 9. The millionth will be one oversized drink so that everyone in attendance will be part of this historic night. How about that? Door prizes will include a trip for two to Corbell in California, t-shirts, hats, and much more. I'm also told no reservations are needed. All you have to do is show up. Back out here live this morning at the Old Fashioned. I've posted all of these details up on channel3000.com. Again, tonight, if you want to make it another tradition here, get in line, and it sounds like they're going to be doing one oversized drink, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. But they're sharing a little love out here, guys, and coming up in our next half hour, we're going to talk a little bit more about how this has become such a family tradition for many with a special moment around 6:45.
Well, Leah and I don't drink at the moment, so maybe we'll just bring a gigantic muddler to make up that millionth cocktail.
That works.
That works for me.
More for Josh.
Josh, this is a big milestone for the Old Fashioned.
Yeah, it is.
They've done a lot for the city, and we know a lot of folks had there over the holidays. And 1 million, man, that's impressive. Thanks, Josh.
That's a lot.
It is.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Refreshments or no, you can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured. Congrats to the Old Fashioned.
Yes, huge milestone. 6:12 here. Let's get a check your first one weather. Chris Reese is helping you get out the door. First, though, he's got a wonderful picture from a viewer. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I've been showing this one all day from Diane McCann in Westfield. All the snow that she did have over the weekend. Now, this is getting ready to go by the wayside. We've had the core cold on top of us. It's moving away. Now, warmer air starting to move into the picture, and we will see an even bigger surge of that warmer air as we begin to move into the weekend. So enjoy that. Eventually, colder air comes our way on the backside of that because, after all, we are getting further and further into the winter season. That being said, we're quiet across most of the state. Some snowflakes are flying in northern Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin will stay dry today, and we will warm up today, even compared to where we were yesterday into the afternoon. So that being said, we're in the teens and 20s right now, but as we look forward, we warm up to about 40 degrees this afternoon in Madison, a little bit warmer to the south and west. Can't rule out temperatures being right around 45 for places like Basketball and Lone Rock. A little bit cooler to the north and east as our warmer air is still mainly to our south and west. But we are warming up down into the 20s again overnight tonight before we have a pretty dry Wednesday on tap for us. Your big travel day on Wednesday, fairly quiet across the upper Midwest. One thing I'm watching, though, on Thanksgiving is at least a chance. I'm saying there's a chance that we could see a few raindrops around here on Thanksgiving. Not a washout, I'm not majorly concerned, but the chance is there for some rain. Black Friday will start to clear things out. Late Saturday night into Sunday, I'm gonna watch this next system try to work its way on through, but truly, I'm watching the middle of next week. Yesterday, I told you that the upper Midwest could see a storm system that was impactful towards the middle of next week. The model's still showing that signal, and as I said, anywhere from Chicago to Fargo needs to keep a close eye on this one. Nothing is locked in stone yet. I mean, we're really talking about being 8 days out from this in a weather world. That's a long time, and a lot can change, but we're the first warned weather team, so I'll let you know what we're watching, and I'm seeing that signal. So again, some raindrops on Thursday. I'm going to watch Saturday night into Sunday, and then again I'm going to watch next Tuesday into Wednesday, but this forecast is very November temperature-wise. We are out of the deep freezer.
Any chance those late night showers, the PM showers on Thursday, linger into early Friday morning and perhaps affect those Black Friday shoppers?
It's something that I'm watching, but at this very moment, it's not looking as likely anymore.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Chris. New this morning, the Green Bay Packers kicker Mason Crosby receiving an award for going above and beyond working with Make-A-Wish. Crosby received a big award. Make-A-Wish says that Crosby spends time with children who visit the Packers while also serving as chair for their gala committee. He's also donated over $300,000 through an initiative where he donates $1,000 for every field goal he makes.
Well deserved.
Very. It's the biggest game on Wisconsin's schedule, and not just because it's the next one.
It's against Minnesota, the big rival, marking the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe, a rivalry that Jim Leonard knows all too well. The Badger interim head coach went 2-2 as a player against the Gophers, but he went out on top as a senior. Take a look at this old video. He won the axe and started a 14-year streak of keeping it here in Madison.
You know, to me, senior day was an amazing experience to win the axe, keep it home, you know, finish off the rivalry that way. 2002, I think Anthony Davis went off and had a huge game. I had a couple interceptions. That never gets brought up. I don't really understand why, but he gets all the credit for that one. But, yeah, I mean, you just know the records don't matter. You go in there, it's going to be a physical game. You have to earn it.
Other big news out of Camp Randall, Ches Malusi and Alex Smith will both be back next year for the Badgers. The two announced the news on Monday. They say they'll use their COVID year to return. Malusi missed 4 games this year after breaking his wrist against Northwestern. Smith missed all of fall camp and the first 5 games with a hamstring injury. And be sure to tune in to this week's Badger Blueprint, the last one of the season. Zach and Jim Polzine will be talking everything from the Badgers holding on to the Freedom Trophy to Axe Week. That airs tomorrow during News 3 Now at 10. At 6:17, researchers are looking into how to reduce concussions, and they're learning a certain type of material might help prevent those brain injuries.
The work to make that happen is all going on right here in Madison at the UW. Arman Rahman tells us who's behind it.
From the football field to the front lines of war, helmets are the first defense against brain injury.
About 3.2 million Americans experience concussion every year.
But it's the foam between the skull and the helmet that does most of the protecting, and what Professor Temavadan and his team at UW-Madison are hoping to improve with their carbon nanotube foam.
So we had to come up with pads as well as the helmet shell that would be able to attenuate the shock waves due to impact, and by the time those shock waves get transmitted to the brain, they don't cause damage.
Right now, helmets are mostly lined with polymeric foam.
But then when you push them to extreme impact velocities or extreme temperatures, it could be very cold or very hot temperatures, they do not provide the performance that you would desire.
So to create a foam from scratch that could take big hits in extreme temps and retain its shape, they went tubular, with carbon nanotubes no more than 1 atom thick.
So this itself is great in absorbing shock because of the intrinsic nanofiber properties.
After 180 different experiments, they found the strongest way to arrange the nanotubes was in cylinders.
So at 10 micron thickness, we found that it is actually the strongest. For example, it can absorb energy 18 times more than the currently used foam in the helmets.
The microscopic discovery is getting some big attention.
It can actually change the game.
And not just in sports. A combat helmet manufacturer called Team Wendy is going to test their liner in a prototype.
We would put these as pads and then drop them in drop towers with actual mannequins so that you would be able to study them under realistic conditions. Here we are trying to save lives, whether it's in sport-related injuries or whether it's in combat helmets in battlefield or first responders.
That was Armand Rahman reporting. The team hopes to see their design on the market in the next several years.
The world's biggest traffic project is wrapping up this week. Universities are teaming up to study how artificial intelligence might impact traffic, particularly things like cruise control. The U.S. Department of Energy is funding the Circles project. Its goal is to cut down on traffic jams. Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
All right, after the break, a taste testing of a new twist on a holiday tradition.
And it's the busiest day of the year for food pantries, and demand is up big time. Coming up, how you can make a difference. That's in our next half hour. Stay with us.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Shopco Optical.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars. How to holiday the Bob's way. I know that look, Mr. Gnome. You're worried about getting your home holiday ready. Hosting can be stressful, but not with Bob's Discount Furniture. Get incredible values on festive decor, rugs, lighting, and furniture, like accent chairs and recliners for as low as $2.99, or complete dining sets for as low as $5.99, with thousands of in-stock items ready to ship, plus gift cards if you want to get a jump on holiday gift giving. Wow, thanks, Mr. Gnome. I wonder what it could be. Holiday the Bob's way.
Excellent. I want it.
To the holidays. Here's to the casserole queens and Santas who saute. To the turkeys brined in beer, and well, just beer. To the ones who do the most, and the ones who do the least. To the classic traditions, and whatever you call this one. This year, no matter how you holiday, Festival has you covered. Festival Foods, a Wisconsin tradition since 1946.
It's time to get more at the Rust Arrow Black Friday sales event. It's our largest selection of the year, and more selection means more savings. Save with 0% APR financing. Save with no payments until after the holidays, and save with more for your trade. Get more and save on a vehicle you actually want. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Kia, Mazda, Nissan, and hundreds of used vehicles. You get more at the Rust Arrow Black Friday sales event. See our largest selection of the year. Visit us at rustarrow.com.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. Susan sending in a nice one from her neck of the woods. A little peek of the sun behind a little church building there.
Thank you for sending that in, Susan. Share your morning. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning when you post on social media. We'll find it and share our favorites. Okay, so we are going to try some figgy pudding by Spam. They came out with this for the holidays. We told you about this last week. And none of us had figgy pudding before. We're kind of like wondering what the heck it's all about. So we got some, and
you know, because we're all health nuts here on News 3, especially me.
Do I look concerned?
That just splashed on me.
It did just splash.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just got this dry clean.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I don't know if I can do this.
This is figgy pudding, flavor, spice, and everything nice. It's basically Spam with some additives to it.
Can you smell that?
What are these additives?
There's, let's see, ingredients. Pork with ham, sugar, water, salt, modified potato starch, spices and natural flavor.
Does that say what the spices are? Just spices?
Just spices.
My floor director is getting the garbage can ready for me. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Andrew.
Let's divvy it up here.
Oh.
Bring your plate over, Chris. Okay.
I thought these were going to be sliced.
I can't be too close to it or I might
It looks just like spam.
be nauseous.
I have given Leah full permission, like she needs it from me, to pass, given her current state. You know, her tummy's not feeling the greatest.
No, it's not now, especially now.
Why does it smell like tuna?
It smells horrible.
Because it's canned meat.
Okay, but...
This looks nothing like pudding. This looks just like a regular can of Spam.
Well, it's just supposed to be Spam that's flavored like pudding, right? I should give this more of a try. I'm going to suck it up and try it out. How is it, boys? Really? So does that... Really? That's your response? Should I... I'll take a smaller bite.
It's definitely got some spice in it. Like, I'm getting like some nutmeg and some... it's different.
That's going to induce labor. That's horrible.
You ever heard of like...
Oh, boy.
It tastes like a Vienna sausage.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
But like dipped in cinnamon.
Yeah, like it was soaked in nutmeg.
Vienna sausage and eggnog combined is what this tastes like.
There you go.
Are you
Spice
taking
up
it
your
to your
holiday,
holiday?
folks.
Yeah, that's great.
It's only available for a limited time. So get it before it's gone, folks.
For a reason.
Yep, I was going to say limited for a reason.
All right, real quick forecast there, Chris.
Yeah, bus stop forecast as you were headed out the door. Sunshine today, 20s to start, near 40 headed home.
Oh, gosh.
We're back after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
When the weather gets cold, springs break.
Fixing broken garage doors, that's all we do here at Precision.
Our vehicles are literally like a warehouse on wheels. We can fix a broken spring the same day and get you on your way.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust. Put a little love in your heart.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
Only a wise and lucky few understand the amazing benefits of real sauna bathing. Leisure Concepts has Finnish and infrared saunas that set up in a flash and will get you through winter happy and healthy. Now watch closely to see my favorite part of sauna bathing. Get to Leisure Concepts on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Right now, score the lowest prices of the year at Brothers Maine. You won't find lower prices anywhere. And enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Maine's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Here's to the guy with the tree in his kitchen who can't talk right now because his elderly neighbor needs help. Here's to the generator in the middle of the street with extension cords running to 4 different houses. Here's to the countless acts of kindness that helped the Midwest recover from one of the worst storms in recorded history. You've given a whole new meaning to the term silver lining. The worst brings out our best.
There's something new from Better Than Bouillon. Introducing the Culinary Collection. Exciting new flavors like sofrito for casseroles or adobo for fajitas, each adding a little something special to all your family favorites. But don't take our word for it. The Culinary Collection from Better Than Bouillon.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong.
You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Right now, the reason you should stop and donate to your local food pantry today instead of waiting for True Giving Tuesday. Also, former Governor Scott Walker weighing in on the midterms, what he says went wrong for Republicans.
And of course, temperatures are substantially colder than they were at this time yesterday. But as I said, it's all about where you end up. Let's go. We're warming things up. We'll tell you when. We could see 40s. How far into them?
40 sound pretty good. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for tuning in. That figgy pudding taste kind of lingers.
Yeah.
A little bit in your mouth.
The smell in the newsroom.
I was going to say 40 sounds pretty good, but the holiday spam was not.
We've decided to give Spam a little bit of a break here. It would taste better if it was fried.
Yeah.
I did say that. If you fried it up and maybe served it with something sweet, I actually think it would be a hit.
And if my nose wasn't so strong right now, I'd feel a lot better.
I know.
I think I've got superhuman smelling abilities.
Yeah, the pregnancy kind of throws things off, doesn't it?
Not helping.
All right, so we're going to get a little bit warmer today. Got to get out of the below freezing temperatures that we're in at the moment, though.
Yeah, we've got to get out of where we are right now, but by the afternoon, hey, it's going to be nice. You'll like it. That being said, we're 14 degrees colder now than we were at this time. Yesterday, Wautoma, 16 degrees colder, and then some spots only about 4 or 5 degrees colder than they were 24 hours ago. Doppler track quiet across Wisconsin, but we do see, hey, some snowflakes across northern parts of the state. The reality is this, those snowflakes will not be impacting us at all. We are going to be all smooth and good to go as the day goes on. 18 in Madison right now. Janesville, you are at 19, 14 in the Dells, 10 in Wautoma, 16 in Boscobel. Black River Falls down at 9. We've seen their temperature jump around just a wee bit as we have gone throughout the day, but they've been hovering right around the single digits. 19 for Middleton right now, 22 for Verona, Belleville at 23, 22 in Wanakee. Planning out the day, you already see that sun. There's more where it came from. Sunshine sticks around all day long. We will top out in the 40s. That likely happens around 2 to 3 o'clock, but by 4 o'clock, the sun's starting to set. We're back down into the middle 30s with clear skies.
Okay, Chris Reese, thank you very much. We appreciate it. New this morning, the Wisconsin Attorney General is suing Didion Milling.
He is alleging the company had multiple environmental violations. Our Shane Hogan has been looking into this filing and is here this morning with what we know. Good morning, Shane.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Josh Call and the Wisconsin Department of Justice are accusing Didion of violating air pollution control permits and its milling and ethanol production facilities in Columbia County. The DOJ claims the facilities are a major source of emissions for carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and other violations. The complaint filed in Columbia County Court accuses Didion of 30 total violations, including those for emissions control, leak detection, inspection and record keeping, and more. Call says by filing this complaint, the DOJ is holding the company accountable. In a statement, Didion responded saying it was disappointed and surprised about the decision to file the complaint. It reads in part, quote, "The state's allegations mostly involve paperwork and record keeping issues associated with these permits. We have been cooperating with the department officials to understand and address their concerns and will continue these efforts going forward," end quote. You can read the full complaint and response from Didion over on channel3000.com, but it is important to note these violations are not directly related to that deadly explosion at the Didion milling in 2017, but the complaint does indeed mention the explosion.
New information this morning. Shane Hogan, thank you very much. It's 6:33. Today is an opportunity to get involved in Giving Tuesday a week early.
That's because the busiest day of the year for food pantries is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, today. According to the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, there's been an increase in demand of nearly 40% compared to this time last year. That means area food pantries are struggling to feed hundreds of families in need. the need.
No one wants to set a food pantry record. That's not a good thing for the community. That 277 families had to come in one day to the pantry to be able to have food for their family that weekend. No one celebrates that.
Here's where you come in, folks. St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry set a fundraising goal of $22,000. Here's how your donations would help them. Just $25 would feed a family for a week. I am amazed at how far these nonprofits can stretch a dollar. And look at this. $100 would equal a month worth of hamburger meat for St. Vincent de Paul. And $22,000 will cover their entire expenses through the holiday season.
Good time to give. Thank you very much, Chris. The Wisconsin Elections Commission announcing they've received verified canvass statements from all 72 counties for the midterms. That means 2 weeks after the election, we now know who will be Wisconsin's next Secretary of State. Incumbent Democrat Doug LaFollette will remain in the position after a canvass of votes confirmed his victory. Republican Amy Loudenbeck issued a statement conceding in the race. The final count had LaFollette earning about 8,000 more votes. That was within the margin of error that could have allowed Loudenbeck to request a recount.
With the midterms behind us, Republicans are looking forward. At the state and national level, they're focusing on recruiting and electing experienced candidates. In an interview this week, former Governor Scott Walker said that some of his takeaways from the midterms are that voters care about candidates' backgrounds, their experience, and their policies, all areas he believes some Republicans didn't prioritize on this election cycle.
You can win without having to beat people over the head all the time. And I think that's a lesson for all Republicans going forward is be decisive, but not divisive.
Walker and his former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish are now both working to inspire the next generation to get involved in politics. Walker's currently the president of the Young America's Foundation. Clayfish is overseeing the 1848 Project.
An East High student facing felony charges of sexual assault is back in court this afternoon. 17-year-old Babakur Nyang is accused of strangling and assaulting a girl at a homecoming house party last fall. Days after the alleged incident, students at East High staged a walkout in support of the victim. The school later reassigning the principal after students protested his handling of the situation. Nyang is in court this afternoon for a pretrial conference.
6:36 here on your Tuesday morning. We are keeping an eye on traffic out there. Someone is. Trust me.
Is it a Monday? There we go.
There's a little shot as the sun's about to come up over Madison. A little chilly to start out. We're going to warm up, and Chris is tracking the chance of some rain on Thanksgiving.
Plus, paying students to live off campus, how UW-Madison making room for its biggest freshman class and making affordable housing more applicable in the process.
1 million old fashions. We're celebrating a Madison favorite that is now covered by a bus. Of course, this is live TV. We're back in the 608 after this.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a Hormel Pure 81 boneless ham for only $5.99 a pound. Get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Hy-Vee canned corn or green beans, only 39 cents. And Halo's mandarin oranges, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $10.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash.
Announcing the Rogers
and Holland's Black Friday sale.
Not the Black Friday sale?
No, with up to 60% off the holidays' hottest looks, the savings speak for themselves.
Can we at least call it the Black Friday sale at Rogers and
Holland's Jewelers.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's Santa. We got a problem.
Hold on.
Hey, you want
to join our rewards program? Collect hot dog points to unlock access to our VIP lounge.
That doesn't seem very
rewarding. With the BMO Savings Builder account, you get a cash reward for every month you save.
Wait, so you're going to reward me for saving my own money?
You got it. A little incentive to help you get into the habit of saving.
That sounds great, but do you have VIPs?
Yeah, absolutely. We call them customers.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham for only $5.99 a pound. Get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Pepsi products, 4 for only $14 when you buy 4. And Hy-Vee butter, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now is always on.
Download the Channel 3000 app and you'll have access to the News 3 Now newsroom in the palm of your hand.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608 this morning, we are helping a local restaurant celebrate a big milestone.
Josh Breider live on the Capitol Square with that story. Good morning, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Madison, of course, known for many of its favorite restaurants, including the Old Fashioned Tavern and Restaurant behind me this morning. They are celebrating a huge milestone today. Of course, it has to do with their Old Fashioned. We've featured them before in the 608. Today, they are getting ready to serve their 1 millionth Old Fashioned. 1 million! They're holding a big party later today. Since its opening in 2005, the Old Fashioned has become a local institution serving the quintessential foods that make Wisconsin famous. So because they didn't want to serve just one, the Old Fashioned is actually making it a whole event tonight from 7 to 9. The millionth will be one oversized drink so that everyone in attendance will be part of the historic night. Door prizes will include a trip for 2 to Corbell in California, t-shirts, hats, and more. I'm told no reservations are needed. I've posted all of this information on channel3000.com. So earlier we talked about how the Old Fashioned has become such a family tradition. Take a look at this photo. You might recognize some of the folks on here. I want to bring in Leah right now. Leah, these are some pretty special people in your life.
Yeah, these are 4 out of 5 of my mom's siblings and their better halves. They took up the entire bar after my baby showered the other weekend. How Wisconsin, right? But our family is a huge supporter in that we always go to the Old Fashioned. It's definitely one of my favorite restaurants. We've gone there for my birthday almost every single year since I was in college. Can't partake right now, so my family is helping me out. Josh, I love that you asked for this photo because I think they would really appreciate this. Handsome looking group of people, don't you think?
Very, very much so.
I think that's so cool because, you know, that's a family tradition for you guys. Leah, now I see where you got it from. To be honest, guys, when I first moved to Wisconsin 5 years ago, this was the first Old Fashioned I'd ever had at this restaurant behind me. I'd never had an Old Fashioned before. Yeah, so every time my parents are in town and every time that people come to town, they always ask, where can we get the best Old Fashioned? And of course, I have to take them to the Old Fashioned on Capitol Square. I think there's just so much to celebrate with them, just with their location, their food, their drinks, all of that. So, I mean, 1 millionth, here's the Old Fashioned. I wish I had an Old Fashioned in my hand this morning to cheers to them guys, but maybe I'll have to come back later tonight.
I couldn't agree more. When I have folks come visit Madison and I give them the tour to Madison, the restaurant is always the Old Fashioned. That's always the fish fry and the Old Fashioned. So couldn't agree more, Josh. I'm sad you're not partaking for me. I'll be back for my millionth in a couple of weeks when I can drink.
Soon. You're getting closer, Leah.
You're right. You're right.
Josh, live downtown. Thanks, Josh.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured.
6:43 now. Go ahead, Leah.
I would love to take this story. Does that sound nice?
No,
okay.
Please, by all means.
UW has enough space for about 9,000 students in its dorms, but with more than 8,600 new freshmen alone, simply no room for everybody who wants campus housing this year. So UW-Madison decided to make some deals with students to move them out of the dorms.
We offered them an incentive of $5,000 if they chose to live off campus, or we offered them free housing for the year in our Eagle Heights community. If it was a first-year student, for them we offered a free dining plan.
So about 75 students chose to move into Eagle Heights. It's a 30-minute bus ride to campus. Another 200 took the $5,000 of the dining plan. A majority of participants have encouraged the UW to keep these incentives up. Brendan told us that while the housing department made it work after predictive models for incoming freshmen were inaccurate, they do aim to make next year different. Now, housing, not just a problem for those wanting to live on campus. Many UW students describe the hunt for affordable off-campus housing as a nightmare. Same for me 15 years ago. A new 10-story apartment building, though, is in the works to change that on Regent Street. Chapter at Madison will take the place of the former Buckingham's Bar, as well as some other buildings on the block set for demolition. One of the designers on the project says she hopes giving students more options for housing will help keep prices down.
You're certainly aware of the struggles and the stress that many students have been facing this year finding housing. Particularly, we've seen the university increase enrollment year over year. And so, we feel very fortunate, at least, to have been able to execute on this project in order to bring just that much needed supply and real density so close to campus.
The building will begin pre-leasing next fall. It'll open in time for the start of the fall semester in 2024.
Anybody else still taste that figgy pudding in the mouth?
I can smell it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's
still here.
Lingering a lot longer.
Permeates.
This is your fault.
I'm sorry.
You did this.
We're going to warm it up next time, and it'll be better. Chris Reese, a little cooler out there than it was yesterday, huh?
It is a little bit cooler than it was. Hey, now everybody knows you actually do look at me with your dogs. No, it's cooler than it was out there yesterday at this time, but we're going to be warmer as we start to move into the afternoon and evening. So some 40s are on the way, but here's what we're looking at temperature-wise across the upper Midwest. Most of us in the teens and 20s. Chicago at 30, Traverse City, Michigan coming in at 31. But I'll tell you what, look at the core of the cold continuing to move away from us. Warmer air across the south and west. That'll continue to build in. In fact, look at just how warm we are as we begin to move towards the weekend. This sets the stage for a pretty decent feel. But then eventually what goes up must come down, and we will start to see colder air moving again towards our part of the world. That being said, Doppler track does have a weak system on it across northern Wisconsin. That'll be bringing some light snow to the Northwoods. Southern Wisconsin, we will stay dry today. That being said, we'll push forward and watch this. Winds stay out of the south and west. That'll help us warm up towards 40 for your high this afternoon. Areas across the driftless region in the state, mid-40s, cannot be ruled out. A little bit farther towards the north and east, that's where you're just a little bit cooler, with some of those temperatures staying into the 30s. Down into the 20s tonight, then more 40s as we move towards your Wednesday. Also more sunshine as we move towards your Wednesday. So as you're traveling, I'm not expecting any big issues. One thing I'm going to watch for is at least a chance to see a couple of raindrops around here. We'll watch it. Not a washout by any means at all. Black Friday looks good. Saturday night into Sunday, again another chance for a couple of raindrops in here. The bigger system that I'm keeping my eye on, anywhere from Chicago to Fargo, needs to watch it. It arrives by the middle of next week. That'll usher in December. Could be impactful for parts of the country with a winter weather component as well. We still look colder after that. Cooler air crashes in by next Thursday, perhaps a high at freezing.
Okay, Chris Reese with our first warn. Thank you very much, sir. It is 6:48. Coming up in the morning sprint, how Waukesha is honoring the one-year anniversary of the Christmas parade tragedy.
If you've got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know. Send us a picture. We'll show it on TV.
Watch News 3 Now at 5 with Eric, Susan, and Gary. Weeknights.
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota. Like Camry Hybrid, RAV4, Tundra, and more.
How did you...
Magic.
Right now, during Toyota-thon, get 3.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma.
Come in today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
DePaco Credit Union members are better together because together members share thank yous, a DePaco-only perk that thanks members in cash. And because you're not just a member, you're also an owner, everyone benefits. How will this year's nearly $3.7 million in thank yous benefit you and your community? Since 2016, DePaco members have shared nearly $24.4 million. We truly are better together. Join the movement where your member ownership pays. Visit your nearest DePaco branch or join online at depaco.com.
A must in your medicine cabinet. Less sick days.
Cold coming on? Zicam is the #1 cold shortening brand.
Highly recommended.
Zyfans love Zicam's unique zinc formula.
It shortens colds.
Zicam Zinc That Cold.
Look! It's easy to say things. Anyone can do that.
Look closer.
Meaning what you say, that's a little harder. And a little harder to find. But at US Cellular, when we say you get unlimited data for $29.99 per line, we don't mean only if you get 4 lines. We mean $29.99 per line, even 1. Plus, every plan is price protected for every customer.
Garage doors do not like the cold weather at all.
As soon as it gets cold springs, parts will burn.
At Precision, we can fix any make or model, usually the same day.
Rain, sleet, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.99% financing or $1,000 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Plus, unlock your code to claim an additional $500 Chevy Cybercash. Visit ChevyCybercash.com today.
Free delivery, 18-month financing, low price guarantee. Brothers Main Appliance.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
An Army veteran who was in the Colorado Springs nightclub when a gunman opened fire is crediting his military training for helping to stop the attack. Richard Fierro told reporters he and another man, Thomas James, grabbed the man and pulled him to the ground. The 22-year-old suspect is in the hospital now, facing 5 murder and hate crime charges. And some breaking news this morning, at least 268 people are dead after an earthquake shook the Indonesian island of Java. 150 are still missing, more than 1,000 injured in the 5.6 magnitude earthquake. Blocked roads and damaged bridges prevented rescuers from bringing equipment to help dig out survivors.
In Waukesha, hundreds attending a memorial on the 1-year anniversary of the Christmas parade tragedy last night. Governor Tony Evers and the Waukesha mayor spoke as they joined city officials to honor the lives lost and support those still suffering. Mayor Riley is asking folks and businesses to display blue lights to show support for the victims.
Nearly 130 soldiers in the Wisconsin National Guard are back home after a year-long deployment at the U.S.-Mexico border. The Guard's 229th Engineer Company started arriving back on November 9th, with the last few troops returning this past weekend. Soldiers are based in both Prairie du Chien and Richland Center.
An 11-year-old who was killed in a hunting accident over the weekend has been identified as a 6th grader from Berlin. Investigators say Easton Tom was fatally shot around 9 o'clock Sunday morning in Seneca, a town in Green Lake County. The DNR says that a 41-year-old man in the same hunting party was trying to unload his gun, which was placed in the backseat of the vehicle when it went off. Thomas was hit in the chest and died at the hospital. The Berlin Area School District will provide counseling to students and staff this week.
The threat of a rail strike is back after one of the nation's largest railroad workers' unions narrowly voted to reject a contract brokered by the White House. 7 railroad unions voted to approve the new contracts, but it needs approval from all 12 to prevent a strike. Industry experts say a rail strike could cost the U.S. economy up to $2 billion a day.
Badger women's hockey certainly put on a show over the weekend, and now Cammie Kronish is the WCHA Goalie of the Week. She had a stellar performance against Minnesota. Game 1, she tallied up 38 saves, a season high for her. Rounded out the weekend with no losses. Badgers moving up in the rankings as well. They are sitting this morning at number 2. Ohio State's number 1. And Minnesota drops down to 3rd.
An important White House tradition taking place this week. President Biden pardoned 2 turkeys, Chocolate and Chip. They were raised in North Carolina by the chairman of the National Turkey Federation. They've been supplying Thanksgiving turkeys to the White House since 1947.
Forward Madison FC hosted a party yesterday to watch the U.S.'s first World Cup match in over 8 years. Drew a pretty big crowd. Some kiddos missed school. Others worked while watching the match. Fans not getting the outcome they wanted, though. Team USA gave up their lead in the 82nd minute, and it ended in a draw. They each take a point now. The U.S. faces a tough showdown on Friday against England.
The World Cup becoming even more political, with players and fans from Iran bringing protests to the fields. Iranian soccer stars stood silently as their national anthem played, many in the crowd booing. This amid a violent government crackdown on protesters back home. Demonstrations, you might remember, erupted in Iran back in September after a young woman held in police custody for not wearing her headscarf correctly died.
The U.S. experiencing a shortage of a drug commonly used to treat bacterial infections in kids. According to the FDA, amoxicillin is in high demand because kids are getting sick from a variety of illnesses right now. Amoxicillin is prescribed for many illnesses, including ear and throat infections. It comes in several forms, but it's the kid-friendly liquid that is specifically experiencing shortages.
Melvin Gordon's time as a Bronco now over. The former Badgers running back, who's been with Denver since the 2020 season, was waived yesterday. The decision by the team comes after he committed his 5th fumble of the season during Sunday's game against the Raiders. Gordon led the team both in carries and rushing yards this season. And to the skies, NASA's Orion capsule is moving farther and farther away from Earth after successfully completing a slingshot maneuver around the moon. Orion will keep going until it's nearly 270,000 miles away, breaking NASA's distance record. It'll be back to Earth next month.
Temperatures are warming up into the 40s for a lot of us out there today. We're going to see perhaps mid-40s across south and west Wisconsin. 40 is where I have us topping out in Madison. Overnight tonight, we go down into the 20s. Some areas in the south and west may only bottom out at about 30, but tomorrow there's more where it came from. Even more 40s in the forecast. Some of us could flirt with 50 for your afternoon highs on Wednesday.
All right, 50, we'll take it. Chris Reese, thank you very much.
All right, one more newscast for me tomorrow morning.
Oh, can't believe we're coming to the end of your time here.
We're getting there.
Tune in, help us say goodbye to Chris. We'll have a news and weather update coming up here in about a half hour.